Hello, my name is Mandy Taylor. I am an RPC facilitator as well as a support group facilitator for foster and adoptive parents. I want to take a few moments today on this podcast to talk about the support group. A few years ago, I realized that after the RPC class was over, many of the foster and adoptive parents, as well as myself, had learned a lot of the principles: the invisible suitcase, the developmental impact, the emotional container, the cognitive triangle, all of those things, and they're very valuable, but easy to forget in the day-to-day as we kind of continue down that path of raising difficult children. And so it seemed like it made sense to create a support group that helped bring back those principles on an ongoing basis. So I began to kind of create a support group. As the thought of the support group began, I started to think about, as a foster and adoptive parent myself, what I would like to see in a support group. I realized that one key piece would be that I really felt that I connected with the facilitator of the group. And so I took that idea and really worked with a group through the RPC to get to know them in that class, and then kind of brought them on as the core group to the support group. And so it was a nice continuation to just naturally kind of move forward. Many of them are still a part of this support group a year and a half later. As we began to add more people to the support group, I took that same idea that I felt like I needed to make a connection to those people who would be joining our group. And so I really worked to get to know people by meeting them for coffee or talking on the phone or even emailing with different foster and adoptive parents before they came to the support group. So when they came to the support group, they already knew at least one person in the group and felt that connection. I also in that way was able to kind of connect together different people. So when I knew different struggles that foster parents were going through, I could bring out those like items to each other and kind of build that bond between the foster parents in the group. Next, I really took some time to look at what I felt the group time needed to be used as. I know as a foster and adoptive parent, I wanted to make sure that my time was used wisely. If I was away from the kids and away from my home, I needed to know that my time was useful. And so I really wanted to make the time useful and helpful, building in some self-care, some safety, some of those basic RPC principles into our group time. So I began with the idea that I wanted to use about half the time as a sharing time. And that still is our principle today. We use half of the 2-hour block, so an hour of our time is spent sharing. Seems like a long time, but it actually goes quite quickly. Everybody has something to share. We really strive to share our joys as foster parents, those wonderful achievements of reaching a child, hearing a child, helping them feel safe, all of those ideas. And then we really look at the challenges. What are our challenges today? What are our kids going through that we don't quite know how to reach them? And it's a wonderful time that it isn't just one foster parent sharing, but one foster parent may share their struggle and another one across the table may jump in and give some ideas of what they've tried in that situation. There's a lot of connection that goes on and a lot of feeling for many of the foster parents of, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one going through these struggles. I'm not the only one with a child that challenges me daily. And so that is a very valuable time to this group to really share, to connect with each other, and to really feel that they are not alone in this great work that we're doing with foster children and adoptive children. The second half of our time is used as a lesson, and so we work through different principles of the RPC. We talk through different core concepts that have been created by the NCTSN, but we use this time to really drive home the principles of the RPC and how we are parenting and need to parent differently for kids who've been through trauma. And so it is a very interactive time. It is not, again, I say I was a facilitator because I facilitate a discussion that's led around a lesson and a topic. I feel it's important for foster parents to have come and been able to share and connect with people who are in like situations as themselves, but also I want them to walk away feeling like they have a new hope, a new strategy to try, something different going forward so that they walk out with some piece of knowledge that they didn't before. And so that's been the goal of the group. I definitely have found that this group has been very valuable. I had one foster parent who's adopting a child respond back to me that without this group and without the support, she probably would have given up on the child in her home. She stated that the support group has given her just a new hope, new strategies, new desire to continue on and really work to create a family between her and her new adoptive daughter. As you are creating a support group for foster and adoptive parents, I encourage you to look at what really is the quality use of time for the foster and adoptive parents you are working with, looking at their needs to connect together, and also to walk away with some information to give them, like I said, new strategies and new hopes going forward and how to parent these children differently. Foster parenting is definitely different than parenting children that are born to you that you get to know over many years of time. So I just encourage you to look at the needs of your foster parents as you create these necessary groups for them. Thank you.